زهره شهبا هستم. از ایران اومدم کانادا و به عنوان رفیوجی اینجا هستم. من تحصیلاتم در ایران طراحی دوخت بوده و کارهای هنری رو انجام میدادم. من 10 سالم بود که این هنر رو شروع کردم و چون علاقه زیادی داشتم و در خانواده ما مامانم این کار رو انجام میداد و منم چون علاقه داشتم در کنارش یاد گرفتم و این هنر رو انجام میدادم. من مامانم بود. چون این هنر خیلی زحمت فراوانی براش کشیده شده، یه کار هنری دست‌دوزه و با دست این کار انجام میشه و من خیلی دوست دارم که این هنر رو تمام خانوما یعنی جهانی بشه. یه جورایی دوست دارم که همه این هنر رو ببینن و خوشحال میشم که این هنر از بین نره و همه دوست داشته باشن ببینن. بالاخره این امکانش هست اگه شناخته نشه به مردم و اونجوری که باید ازش تقدیر نشه شاید یه زمانی گم بشه. ولی من برای همین اومدم که این هنر رو همه ببینن، بشناسن که به اون مراحل نرسه، همیشه پا بر جا بمونه.
I keep stressing authentic. We want authentic skills. What people learned in their culture. We want things that are true to the tradition. And I feel that that's going to really help preserve some very, very important textile arts. There is a danger of a loss of these skills is not only the fact that they might not be handed down and they might not be continue to be shared, is that if people don't appreciate them, they won't respect them and ask for them and desire them.
الان با این سبک که همه خانم‌ها در خانه مشغول این هنر هستن و اینو جز کار مهمی در زندگیشون میدونن و حتما باید اینو در خانه داشته باشن، فکر نمی‌کنم. 100% بالاخره این هنر چیزیه که هر کشوری هنر خاص خودشو داره، کار هنری، کار دستی خاص خودشو داره و مسلماً این هستش که اگه هر کشوری کار هنریشو به هم دیگه بشناسونه قطعاً فرهنگان به هم نزدیک میشه.
Every culture has their own recipes and ways of doing things and their ingredients. So textile arts are a little bit like that. They have their own materials, their own methods, ways of coloring, ways of manipulating. We share culture through food, and we all do that, and we go to different types of restaurants to experience different cultures and different food. Textile arts are a lot like that, except that we haven't really shared them and we haven't really talked about them. And I feel that it's another way of generating greater cultural awareness and appreciation to learn about them.
من در حال حاضر در حال دوخت رومیزی هستم. در منزل رومیزی رو دارم میدوزم و از این کارم هم دارم بسیار لذت میبرم و خوشحالم که این کار رو دارم انجام میدم. این هنر در کشور ما به هنر یه نوع سوزندوزی هستش که پته بهش میگن، اسمش پته هسته و با سوزن و نخ، یعنی یه جورایی از خانواده سوزندوزی میشه حساب آورد. من آرزوم اینه که در آینده کسایی که در طراحی مد و لباس و فشن هستن اینو به عنوان دیزاینر لباسشون استفاده کنن، چون این خیلی گسترده هستش، هم به عنوان دیزاین لباس، هم کیف، کفش، به عنوان دیزاین رو تختی، رو میزی خیلی گسترده است که اگه من بخوام نام ببرم خیلی زیاده و من دوست دارم این هنر به اون مراحل برسه که توی طراحی دوخت و فشن بشه ازش استفاده کرد. من در شبکه‌های اجتماعی این کارامو به نمایش میذارم و کسایی که خوششون بیاد برای من اوردر میذارن، من قبول میکنم، دوخت میزنم و میفروشم. این حالت گله که پردوزی میشه تو اصطلاح خود سوزندوزی ما، به اینم که میگن خط دوزی، تو اصطلاح پته دوزی اینا رو که دور حاشیه رو میدوزن خط دوزی بهش میگن. اینم که توی خودش پر میشه حالت پردوزی بهش میگن. این هر سوزنی که وارد پارچه میشه یه اسم داره که بهش میگن پتک، اسم اصیل سنتیش اسم سوزندوزی رو پتک هم بهش میگن که یه نوع به حساب طراحی هستش و رنگ‌های مختلف رو استفاده میکنن. یعنی 8 رنگ اصلی رو ما بیشتر در دوخت این پته استفاده میکنیم. 8 رنگ هم که از رنگ‌های گیاهی بیشتر استفاده میشه. نخش هم که از نخ پشم گوسفند هستش. پارچش هم همینجور از پشم گوسفند تهیه میشه. نخ هم از پشم گوسفند و رنگ‌های طبیعی گیاهی هم در رنگ‌آمیزیش استفاده میشه. دیگه همین طرح‌های مختلف داره. به این طرحش طرح بت جقه میگوین. خیلی طرح‌های متنوع و زیادی هم داره. به یه جوری که یعنی با دوختنش واقعاً احساس آرامش داره. وقتی که این دوخت رو میزنی خیلی احساس آرامش داری. خیلی واقعاً این مدل دوخت دیگه هم داره. دوختش خیلی متنوع از هر کدومش یه مدل دوخت رو داره. طرح‌هاش هم بیشتر طرح‌های سنتی هستش. یعنی الان جدیدن که بیشتر دارن دوخت میکنن، طرح‌های جدیدتر هم دارن میزنن، ولی اصل پته بت جقه است. بیشتر هم خانمای خونه مخصوصاً این دوختا رو انجام میدن، این پته رو انجام میدن. هم منبع درآمدی براشون هست، هم که در خانه ازش استفاده میکنن. من آرزو دارم که این هنر رو همه مردم ببینن، شناخته بشه. این هنر دست خانوما رو و همه ازش استفاده ببرن انشاءالله. این هنر مخصوص یک شهر مال ایران هستش به نام شهر سنتی کرمان که قدمت 2500 ساله داره از لحاظ تاریخی و این پته از زمانهای خیلی خیلی طولانی این پته رو خانوما دوخت می‌زدن. بله، این هنر یک هنر بسیار تا بسیار سنتی و قدیمی هستش که به حساب از زمان قدیمی هنر رو مخصوصا خانوما، الان که آقایون هم انجام میدن ولی قدیم خانوما این هنر رو انجام میدادن و به عنوان رومیزی پرده رو تختی ازش استفاده میکردن و یه هنر بسیار خوبیه که وقتی باش یعنی دوخت میزنی یه حس آرامش و یه حس و حال خیلی خوبی به آدم میده و آدم از دوختش واقعا لذت میبره.
My name is Urfa and my background is Pakistan. I born in Punjab, then I married in Balochistan. When I am grade 5, then I start the first time start needle. My husband decided that we live in here Canada. He start the job and because back home job opportunity less. He say, okay, we try to move, migrate another country, maybe they have more opportunity. Biggest problem is a language, because I have inside so many words, but the barrier is the language. But I can't explain very well because I stuck with the words.
With challenges with language, definitely this could be something that might be a little difficult for someone who maybe doesn't speak English that well to do a workshop, pass on their skill. But for sure, we know that the demonstration technique overcomes a lot of cultural barrier. We would still love to work with people, even in their own language, or maybe with an interpreter, to conduct a workshop. We know that there's still possibility, even with some of the language and cultural barriers, that we can find a way to overcome that. And I think that's the important thing.
Generally, I like this work, but when I married, then I like this work. Because before my province, there is only these kind of work. This and this, but then I married, then this, then because my husband and my husband's family like to wear this dress. See, this is a different kind of cloth. Then I wear and I like.
I found each people, each country, each culture has own unique skills. For example, you can see the difference between the embroidery between the Ethiopian ladies with Sri Lanka or Afghanistan or Pakistan. And all of them just learned them from their mother or grandma or their culture. Sometimes some of these are representative of their life in the homeland.
This is the simple running stitch. This is also our traditional from Balochistan, same thing. We have the like wool work, mirror. This is the cross stitch. You see, I just draw the line. Here I start the cross stitch. We work by line, one line to another line. Just cross, pinch, then forward. And now I start the filling. If I saw some picture and something, then I like, then I say, okay, why not we start my shirt too? Then I like first looking the YouTube and books, then I collect the information, then I start drawing, then I put on my clothes.
With the sharing of knowledge, we're intending to set up workshops when we identify all the different skills that we have access to start doing some training of other people, partly because of the cultural exchange, partly because it's fun and it's exciting to learn new skills and we want to have them handle skills down. Who better than the experts, the people who really know and learn these skills from their grandmother, their mother, whoever taught them, and these are passed down.
I came to Canada in 2016 because of the war that started in Syria in 2011. And I had to go to Libya first to live with my family there for 5 years, and then from there I came to Canada. What inspired me the most in learning this skill is my mom. I liked it very much when I used to see her sew every day almost, and also my aunties and sisters, they all used to sew. Almost everyone in my family circle, they all used to sew, and that what made me more interested in this. These pieces are made by my mom by hand. She made them for her wedding to prepare them for her wedding day. Because of the technology that's been affecting everyone's life and the children in this generation, most of the time they want to play games and spend time on social media. It will inspire the younger generation to gain more interest in this work, especially if they see more people around them who encourage them. I think the biggest concern for me is embroidery because it has a wide range of different stitches to it that are very hard to learn.
If you start with a base textile, you can do a number of things with it. You start with a base, then you can start putting things onto it. So that could be anything from embroidery to doing applique and putting patchwork or quilting or doing things where you're creating a new textile by what you're doing to that textile. There's many techniques around that, and if you take embroidery alone, I created a list and identified about 25 different distinct types of embroidery. It's a vast area of exploration.
This stitch, we call it tige. It doesn't take too much time to learn it, but with time and practice, it becomes better. You become more professional at this stitch. This crochet jacket is also made with putting too many pieces together, so in each piece of crochet. And these scrunchies are made with cotton.
The final category would be where you take a textile and then you manipulate the textile by altering the shape of it. So that could be something like smocking, runching, doing things where you're gathering up or creating textile texture.
Now we have this stitch that's called atlas. It needs a lot of work to make the stitches close to each other so it can cover the area. This stitch is called lef, and this one is the same as the pink one. It's called atlas too. And there are so many stitches that I learned later that I don't know the name of.
A vast array of potential techniques that we could be exploring. We're going to start with a database. It's where we can share, these are textiles, arts, and we can start to create some appreciation even around the vast variety of what is potentially possible with textile art.
My name is Zohreh Bibi. I am from Karachi, Pakistan. I started sewing at a very young age with my mother. Then at school, we were taught the subject of home economics. My mother inspired me, pushing and inspiring me both at the same time. She inspired me with her embroidery, and I learned with her. She pushed me to learn this. Now the skills are disappearing, especially in the cities. Before they had a school, but now they're disappearing. They are teaching other subjects, but if you go in the villages, they are still using these skills, especially for their weddings. They prefer that the young girls learn and make something for themselves, especially for the weddings.
The people that normally would have handed them down through generations, for whatever reason, it's not really something that the younger generations are picking up. So our fear is that a lot of these will be lost. And if we don't bring them out into the open, take them out of hiding, so to speak, and enable more people to really appreciate them, and if we don't teach other people about them, the loss of the skill is not likely to be able to be revived. So we want to preserve them, we want to share them, and we want to pass them on and maybe find ways that people who know how to do these things can actually utilize them now to their own benefit for some form of employment.
This is a kind of special fabric we use. It's a plain fabric, and we decorate it ourselves with embroidery. Canada is a mix of different cultures. Even though we are far away, we are doing a project with some Syrian ladies, and we see that there are some stitches that are the same.
George Brown College has a great basic to connect with designers and local artists. So this is good for them because in this way, these skills could be involved and be connected with the local artists and the designers, and it's a good opportunity for them.
This embroidery is used everywhere, on shirts, on bed sheets, on pillowcases, and on tables. This kind of fabric and embroidery can be used anywhere. You can see that this one is a cushion. The same embroidery is in here. They have a solid color and a solid thread. It's like wool, not a normal thread. It is more stable. No matter how many times you wash them, they stay the same. And they use the dark colors like embroidery. For this one, I like to use the beads. It's beads mixed with embroidery. This is a cross stitch. This is a buttonhole stitch. It's hard to find the material here. I ordered this from back home. This stitch is going two ways. First, I make a base for the stitch, and then I fill it. I just make only one small stitch in here, and then fill. I'm making a square, a small box. Now you have to fill. But don't go in the back, only the front side. Now you have to go around. This goes upside down, one up, one down, and one up.
My name is Souher. I am from Syria. I came to Canada in 2002. I am a teacher. I studied here in Canada in sewing program in George Brown. It's a hobby for me. I love working in embroidery and anything that has to do with the hand skills. For these two pieces, the green one I made by myself and the next one to it, my mom made it. I wanted to keep this one because my mom made it, of course. For the green one, I used a ready thread for the linings, but for the new one, I made it by myself. And I sew it on the piece. This work is not too many people do it. This work is called Milan in my country. It's a lot of work. First you have to draw the pattern you want. Then you sew the thread to that design. And then you're going to have to fill the spaces between the patterns different ways. This piece is crocheted and I love to put with it some beads. This one is also a simple embroidery, but because I love beads, I wanted to put beads with embroidery just to make it look more beautiful. This piece I wanted to make it without drawing it. I did so many stitches with so many different colors, and I wanted to fill every space. This one, the design is ready. I just did the embroidery on top of the pattern that was already there on the piece.
Every immigrant, when they come to Canada, bring with themselves tons of valuable skills. It's really important to have this opportunity to share this experience with other people.
This piece is my biggest concern for the next generation because it needs a lot of patience and time. And it's rarely to find someone who has this type of work. For this stitch that I'm making right now, it's called Bream in my country. And I love to make it on my own for this piece because it's hard to find the right one to put it on top of it because some of them shrinks when they're washed. Now I can place it anywhere I want. But it's better to use a different color for the thread so it's easier to take it out when you're done. This one you can have to take it off after you're done. This bream, we call it, is I'm gonna put it around the whole thing and then gonna do the middle using this needle, using the same thread. This one right here, I can fill it with any stitch I want from these in the middle. In this piece, I use so many different stitches to fill this space. For example, I used this stitch here that's called habki. I also used one of the stitches that's called the seed of rice in Arabic, habbat al-ruzzi. And I also used the green stitch that's called random lines just to fill the space. For this stitch, I used a stitch that's called tige. Almost most of the stitches are similar to each other, but I used many different colors just to have more different designs. This stitch, we call it the foot of the bird. They're all kind of similar to each other, but I just used them in different ways just to make it look different than the other. I even switched them just to make them facing each other instead of outwards. I also put this lining around it that I made from crochet. I also put a piece of fabric on the back just to cover the threads from the embroidery.
Here's the talent that's already here in our community. I know a lot of designers that actually were going to other parts of the world to get embroidery done, to get cultural skills somehow into their product. When we have people here that know how to do that, we don't actually need to travel halfway around the world to find someone to do it. So it's about bringing people together, making connections. It's about teaching and learning together. It's about sharing that with the broader community.
My name is Lejla Krdzalic, and I am coming from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yesterday was 27 years how I came in Canada. I was a refugee and I came in Canada and got my permanent resident and citizenship in Canada. Now I am proud Canadian. I started to sew when I was grade 5. And the reason why I start, because I have an older sister, and my mom always said, oh, we need to make for older sister first. My first project that I did, very similar to this one, was probably I was 17. There was an area of the country of former Yugoslavia that known designers start to produce something with a motif of the villages in a mountain called Zlatibor, and the company name is Sirogojno. I really love that product, but it was so expensive to buy that my mom and me decided to make for me one, and this is how I did my first project. The biggest obstacle when you are moving to Canada is connection. It's meeting people. It's knowing there is an opportunity. You are in front of big wall, and it's not with bump, it's very smooth that you couldn't catch. But when you catch and when you come on the top of a wall, your world is all yours. But it's a problem to climb this wall because you don't know anybody, you don't have people who can recommend you, people who will tell, oh, look what she's doing, look. You always need somebody to encourage you and to encourage people to come to you. And this is, I find it's very important obstacle. In my country, there is so many sheep, so many lambs, and they are using meat, but not wool. They are thrashing wool. And I think that is so much waste of so important material. I was hoping that we'll bring back this old way of making it, that we don't need field covered with waste. We need to start thinking again about when you buy that you need for a longer period, not for just one season. Where I have, for example, one red one that I made probably 10 years ago, and it's still in the perfect shape, and it's still wearing all the time when I need it. It's again just knitting, but I did this separate make leaf knitting, and this also knitting, and after that do application attached to the product. And this is how I am doing this. It's just regular knitting. And this is with a symbol, and turtle is somebody who brings the prosperity in your home. Out and making, and I will do 2 extra stitches here. This is just regular knitting. Point is that this is the material that I'm using. It's a natural sheep wool. Most of them is, for example, this is colored, but it's natural color. This is sheep this color. This is sheep this color. This is something that I find it's very important. There is no chemical on it, nothing, all natural.